Just thought we'd like to see what's going on here. They're putting in fibre optic cable for our internet, and it's so bad, the internet connection here, for me to upload a 10-minute video takes me 2 hours and 30 minutes. Well, this is obviously before this cable comes in. So what they're doing is they're setting it up now. So you can see they're digging it into the road. Just wondering how they're going to get under that piece there. They're going to have to dig that front bit out, I suppose. There you see, all the way up. So hopefully we might be connected by the end of the week or start of next week. Oh, I can't wait. I had a 13-minute video yesterday and it took 2 hours and 57 minutes, so nearly 3 hours. So you can see what I had to put up with. And we have internet radio, so we could either use I could upload or download something or use the radio. So hopefully that'll all change now and we'll have high-speed connection. Fingers crossed. So you can see, I think you can see quite clearly there where the weeper's on it. Right at the bottom. Sorry, it's hard to look through the camera and see. There it is on the bottom. And I'll change the hose as well. No point in changing the slave and not the hose. So, yeah. In this case it's not so bad because if you've got a pipe coming out the bottom of your master cylinder, if you use a piece of plastic and put the cap back on, what you'll do is create a vacuum. You will get some drips, but it will create a bit of a vacuum. This particular case I didn't need it, but so I've just taken the whole thing off, and you might notice there's a piece of masking tape over that breather, crankcase breather. Well, it's actually it's the breather from the clutch, but what you do not want to be doing is dropping one of them bolts down in there. So it's only a little precaution, but it really helps. So when the new one comes, I'll pop that on and bleed the clutch and get it running. Okay, I'll just take that dust cover off there, and I'll reset that clutch up again. So as you can see, there's a brand new slave in there and a brand new hose as well. We've bled it now and seems to be working fine. Just got to put the air filter back on. So it's sitting out here because Lewis and his wife are working on his own car trying to de-rust some of the subframes on it, so I let them borrow the ramp. This is a 3D Citroen badge that Lewis, a friend of mine, has 3D printed, and he's put some threads in the back of it, which is nice. It's for the back panel, and that's just been plastic 3D printed, which looks real nice, I think. Hopefully that's showing up. It's come out very nice. And one of the other things I asked him is, these are mini 1100 caps for the wheels, and you can't buy these anymore, so he's made this one up, and we made these nodules here just a little bit bigger, so I'm going to have to file them very slightly, but I asked him to make them bigger so they would fit, because you can't buy them anymore. And these are the caps, and you can't buy them. Don't worry about the number 1 in it. He did that so that we could tell the difference, and they're just a slightly bit loose. So he tried to make a few, and we found now the one, I can't remember which one it is now, I think it's the plus one. So he's going to make all the wheel caps and 5 new ones for this, so 4 plus the spare. And we'll either paint them up or do something with them. But you can't buy them anymore. He's thinking about actually making them and maybe offering them online. So I'll let you know what the story is for that. But I'm really happy with that badge. I think the badge looks really nice. And that all painted up. That's how it was in 1936. So, and that'd go on the back tailgate. So I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, David, so that's the second one made. So that's the one in front. Sorry to do that end. That's the one in front, and there's the one I'm going to cut out now behind. and then I'll take it down and sandblast them both and put them in primer. And I'll drill a couple of holes and get rid of this rivet here, just so they're the same. Now I haven't changed the holes because these holes are bigger than these ones, but I'll leave that to you. But I will take that rivet out, so I'll clean this up now, get the last bit of finish, sandblast them and then clean them up and put some primer on it, some grey primer. And I'll leave it up to you if you want to re-sandblast them and have them repainted by your paint shop. So you can see I had to take that, well I didn't have to, but I took that rivet out of there which was holding the whole thing together. There was no welds under here. And the first time I did it, I lost that pin, and with the heat distortion it pushed the hinge down. It wasn't square across there. You can see how that is and how that is now. But one leg had dropped down and one was up, so it was at an angle. So I had to cut it all off, which was a real bitch, and weld it again. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to sandblast them, and then that piece will have to go on afterwards. I'll just weld that in place. It's just a stop, but I'll do it afterwards. I'll get them sandblasted now and see how they look. Okay, David. So I brought this in my sandblaster, which I kind of developed somewhat. It used to sit down at an angle there, and I built this new top on it, and then so you can go in the side. I'll take that whole top off and drop it in, because I needed to get an E-type door in it, some bigger stuff. Anyway, so I've sandblasted both of these. I don't know how much primer was on underneath that, but Jesus, they were hard to get clean. Anyway, so there's the little thing, so I'm going to put that back on now. I'll give this a clean up with the 3M and weld that back on. Oh, tidy up the welds a bit. Excuse me. Tidy up these welds because it's a bit nasty there. So I'll clean that up, redo all the welds, make it look nice. There's the other one. Put some primer on it, try and get it back to you. So these are the two heater flaps for David's XK150. I've only put them in, they're just in silver hammerite just now. He can do whatever he needs to do with them, because obviously they've got to be primed and painted, but just to stop them rusting. And they're painted on the other side as well, so I'm going to try and get them off to him tomorrow. And I'll send him back this, which is the template that he sent with them. They're very, very slightly larger or wider and slightly longer than the actual template, but I would rather him take off that tiny little bit. A little 3M grinder, angle grinder would do it. So I'd rather there be a little bit oversized than under. So this is the second coat of white it's had on it. Unfortunately it's still bleaching into there a bit. It's a bugger. And we put sealer on it, but it's still, I don't know. You can see, can't you? Well, it's good enough, but I don't think it would leach in the second time. Anyway, it's 100% on what it was.